Smoking, drugs use is harmful to health. All stories and the characters in this story are fictional. Cold Tuber's only purpose is to entertain the audience. Coincidence of any character with the plot of the story is purely coincidental.
If a person is hindered in a particular work, or is hindered by various types of natural and unnatural behaviors, to concentrate on any work. But if no means, or tools can be found to explain it. Even, after understanding everything, there is no perspective to prove it. Everything is paranormal activity. People generally use their physical and mental strength to perform a task. The force it exerts increases, and decreases. Success in action gives people peace, and failure gives sorrow. But an action that has the highest success rate for sure, even if the mind is not haunted, becomes haunted when it is associated with this paranormal activity. A person named Hamid Sahib. Mr. Hamid will go to the market. After that he will go to the photo studio, to take pictures. Then he will return home. Can there be any obstacles in this work of Mr. Hamid? Go to the market, money is not a problem, then take pictures, there is no shortage of photo studios. But Mr. Hamid is still worried. He will leave tomorrow morning and he will not sleep from tonight. The main reason for this is that he admits to paranormal activity. The activity that surrounds, he is constant. He believes and does not believe. This action will work, because it is not a normal behavior. The abnormality formed by the combination of natural and unnatural is called paranormal talk. Today's world is the age of science, but I would say science was there before and still is. As man was and is now. But science is conducted by people, so even though science is changing day by day, people are still lagging behind. And one of the reasons for this is that people are always used to accepting new things late. But that new human creation. Let's get back to the point. In this age of science, Hamid Sahib was not a man to be left behind. Like many, he knew and practiced science. He had good knowledge about mobile phones, computers, and satellites. But there was the problem. He was exposed by paranormal activity. He will go to the market in the morning, eat, drink, bath and get ready. He bought a side bag a week ago. To keep small things, like keys, mobile phone. On either side of the bag, hang two shiny iron chain lockets. Also bought a small lock, to lock them together. In the flat next to Mr. Hamid, there are some freaks. Mr. Hamid was very upset with the behavior of those boys and girls, but did not say anything. The group of freaks, all of them was connected with each other, on various social media, like Facebook, WhatsApp. They used to spend a lot of time chatting with each other. Mr. Hamid understood that very well. Before going to market, Mr. Hamid locked the two rings with the back and went out. Riska or waiting for any transportations. Suddenly he thought, whether he had put the house key in the bag or not. Looking at the bag, he saw that the lock was hanging on the bag, but there was only a ring. He remembered that he had hung the lock on the two rings, he thought. But it is impossible, in such a short time. The real thing was natural without any discrimination. This uncertain situation prevented him from thinking outside of his own natural wisdom, in those moments of thought. What happened after that is natural. Hamid Sahib came out of the house, shared by those freaks in the social media group. And so on. As Mr. Hamid is preoccupied with the matter of uncertainty. How about the ring? He's about to forget where he's going. A Riska came. Hamid sat down on the Riska, asking where to go. He looked towards the road, and saw a man standing with his hands on his waist. After going some distance, he saw a marketer standing with a bag in his hand. A little further, he saw a person standing with a camera in his hand. Excellent, imagining. He knows himself, which he will go to the market, and then take pictures in the studio. What is the meaning of reimagining? Surely there is a natural link? No, not at all. He stood at the door of his flat yesterday, talking to Miss Jaron of the house next door, and suddenly asked, "Brother, what are you doing in the morning?" In response to the words, Hamid Sahib simply said, having no doubt on his mind, that he should go to the market and take pictures. Either those freaks, boys and girls, or Miss Jaron herself, spread the information on social media, and that's how the system is formed. That means that, to the market where he is going, there is also a natural condition, obviously. Again in the studio. But Hamid Sahib is sure about one thing: it is an abnormality. As I said earlier, science has come a long way, but people are still lagging behind. Because the part of science, in which they are looking for proof of their modernity, is further retarding them. Whether they use science, they are controlled by science. However, it's not a joke. Hamid found the ring in his bag, at the studio, when he went to take pictures, right on the balcony of his shop. But he saw that it was not the ring in his bag. But the ring lying here means that, standing again is the natural condition, which will preoccupy him with thought and hinder his action. How can you say that? An alternative question rise. Humans are naturally curious and hot-tempered. His journey begins, through the natural state of losing the ring. And after that he had to go through man-made natural conditions. Time according to different conditions, untimely. On the one hand, Hamid Sahib's mind has become curious and sometimes angry by the freak's situation. After all, when he went to take photograph, and was again confronted with the abandoned natural state, his raging mind said, "Not a moment here." And then Hamid Sahib left his work and came back. No, no way. He returned home after completing the task. As he constantly faces this abnormality from before and always expects, for the normal people of the society, those who speak so little, with such limited knowledge that science may fail to understand their style and meaning. Human curiosity is hidden in everything, which is unclear in the world. And when people run after this curiosity, without any scientific explanation, then they have to fall into irony. And sometimes, when there is no explanation for something vague, it is only done to confuse people. Today people are using their brains, in search of knowledge, or it can be said that they are trying to prove themselves to be superior in the age of science, by establishing a relationship with that kind of knowledge. But in fact no evidence of such knowledge can be found in the logic of science. But science depends on means and equipment. Then the knowledge that man uses to confuse own self and others does not seem to have any need to use that knowledge. Now let's come to the real point. Mr. Hamid always does not believe in any vague matter. Because he goes by himself, he is aware of paranormal activity. And all these natural and unnatural paranormal activities, which exist around it, are also based on that vague matter. Mr. Hamid is a nature-loving person. He likes trees, flowers, and birds. Likes to mingle with people, talk with them. But when the link of the problem is about man and nature, there he is, reluctant to increase the pressure on the mind, due to the unnecessary curiosity of the curious people. As the path, according to its condition, the natural and unnatural state of man prevails. But one thing is that, this condition is inherent in people. Not aware of condition, features. Only by its external action does it produce a reaction. One way to understand who is coming from which environment and going to which environment is one. And that is to act upon the innermost condition of people. No matter which way you turn, they will be always there to confuse your decision. A normal strange principle of all things is found in unnatural arrangements. There is no doubt about it, but there is no natural link in this arrangement. To think that what will happen is to associate natural conditions with unnatural situation. This is actually man-made. Now let's come to Mr. Hamid's words. Last night he dreamed that he was eating rice with eggs. In the morning, in front of his house, he woke up to the sound of the egg seller's voice. Although he remembered what had happened in his dream, he did not feel that there was any need for detailed thought or research into what he had actually seen in the dream. And if he had thought about it, his brain, which was preoccupied with those natural matters, would have kept him deep in thought since morning, and the rest of his work would not have been done. But what is it? Hamid Sahib continued his work. Past the first paranormal activity of the morning. But it doesn't end here.